Yeah, let's go.
The truth set you free.
Greetings, everyone. Welcome once again to the Veritas Machine. I am Tony D, your host. Welcome.
In an age of universal deceit, telling the truth is a revolutionary act.
Today we are going to be covering something very interesting. And we're going to do the live version. Make sure you're hitting that like button because guess what? I'm live on YouTube, mother effers. Oh, I haven't been live on YouTube in a minute. Whoa! I got a new background though. You guys ready? 1, 2, 3. Whoa! A little excited. For today. Got something unique here. Oof! I'm a little rusty on the YouTube. I can feel the YouTube in this on the live. Oh shit!
First of all, don't threaten me.
That's cool.
I'm quite happy you've stepped out of my life. Your attitude stinks. You need to grow up and learn what the truth is. And don't call me a liar. You'll find out very, very soon who's right and who's wrong. But don't threaten me.
Hello, people. The time has come. It's here. What Charlie Ward has been dreading. The chat with his son, Glenn. So I just want to make a couple of points clear. Glenn was not paid for talking, and it was all in his own words. You'll see during the chat that I don't put any words in his mouth, and I'm very brief in what I say when I'm speaking to him, and I just let him do the talking. This was about Glenn and his words and not mine. So I don't mention names of cars, people in general, and I just let him talk.
I just want to add to that point real quick is that I just want to thank Glenn Ward for actually doing this because he has probably caught a ton. I mean, just from what I do, I catch a ton of crap and stupid death threats and this and that and the other thing. But I can only imagine. So Glenn has really put himself out there to do something about this. And for us who have tossed it up with Charlie and have had direct messages from the team, from everyone on Charlie Ward's team, this is really, really great for us to see.
I have made a couple of transitions and edits to protect people that I felt needed protecting, and for Glenn, because that's what this is all about. It's not about me, it's his words, and we want to protect certain people who are not involved in this video. So sit back, get yourself a coffee, make a brew, get some popcorn or a bigger, and you're about to see.
I will be translating for my American friends if I need to.
Of his son Glenn. Enjoy.
Bob's your uncle.
No. Okay.
All right. This is Glenn. Let's go.
What do you want to talk about here? Because I've got. To be honest, I don't give a shit about offloading on my old man because what he's put me through.
Boom.
I mean, what it is, like I said, a lot of people got involved with this because they've got like family and friends that have actually fallen for what he's doing and scams, and some of them have lost money, they've lost it emotionally, and they've decided to come together and actually try to get the truth about what's going on. And I think
what is it that these scams and stuff? Because I kind of went with him to Dubai and stuff many years ago, and this is a funny thing because I phoned him up. That's the first time I unblocked him. I phoned him up to protect my sister, basically, because my sister and my mum are the only people that I kind of have solid ground for, because the rest of the family were in the religious cult that we were brought into, and he basically said to Carla, like, he turned around to Carla and said, you know, you should be backing me. I backed you when you came out as lesbian. I'm like, I was like, fuck yeah, that's 25 years ago. You should do that as a father. I'd back my son in court if he was done for murder.
Right,
That's
right.
Children.
That's
Not
loyalty.
that
That's family loyalty,
I
right?
perceive it as right, but you just don't do that kind of shit.
But when he speaks about her online, he also mentions that it's acceptable, but it's definitely wrong and not right. I mean, the way he speaks about that kind of side of things is kind of terrible anyway, isn't it? He doesn't accept.
To be honest, I get messages on my Instagram and on my bits of social media
What's up, brother?
and asking. I'm like, guys, I don't give a fuck. Like, I don't talk to him. Things I don't talk about him much. I don't tell my mates that I don't talk to him. I don't bring it up because it's not. It's just not something I can be.
Does he have a wax mustache? Does he have a wax mustache that he twists with nicotine fingers as he drops a cigarette sash, and someone stops and picks it up, and then he doffs his cap?
Be asked to do, really.
I think what people just want to have answered, like, is how much of it is true what he's actually saying. You know, because
the thing is, he believes it himself.
Mm-hmm.
He believes his lies.
Mm-hmm.
He's that engrossed into it. Like, he told me when I phoned him, 5 years
Almost like
ago,
possessed with it.
and that
Hey,
was when I
Riga,
was
what's up?
kind
How
of
you
with
doing,
him,
buddy?
and we went to
Thanks for
Dubai.
joining.
He was helping move money for one of the princes out there. I won't mention the prince's name because it's not something that I don't think I should do, because I don't think he's a part of it at all. I think that was my dad's cover story. And he's telling me that he had a contract with the US government. And I'm like, no, you fucking didn't. I said, I said, Dad, don't.
That quote was a song from Elvis Costello, Little Palaces, by the way, if you guys were curious what I was talking about. He wears a wax mustache that he twists with nicotine fingers as he drops a cigarette ash. Excellent. Yeah, after this, by the way, I am going to be jumping on some Apex, and Riga is actually a lot better at Apex than I've gotten a lot better. I think I can keep up on that.
Lied to me. I said, when you
Hey, Missouri.
when I was with you,
Yeah, let me know where you guys are. Okay, give me a city, a state, a country. You know, U.S. around the world. I know we got people from all over the place here now, and I really appreciate you guys joining me.
Fly.
Yeah.
I've got nothing to lose now. I don't care. So I said, why don't you go away and like think about your real story behind this, because what you're telling me is absolute bullshit. And he's like, so again, oh, you calling me a liar? I said, yeah, I basically am, because I know this is not true.
Yeah.
So this whole contract with the government. I've never watched one of his videos. Never have, never will. Have no interest.
Everybody give Ben Seeker a shout.
And he's talked to me about this US government thing, and I'm like,
oh well, at the moment it's currently everything from, I think he's Donald Trump's chief of staff at the moment.
Oh, for fuck's sake! He's just a bellend that lives in fucking Marbella.
Okay, for my American friends, there's one right there. A bellend. Okay, he just said a bellend. He's a dick. He's a bell end. A bell end, okay? Just to clarify. Just want to keep you all up on it, all right? He's a bell end.
He doesn't live in Marbella. He lives outside. He's in Benalmadena. And he just basically, he is a serial liar. Like, when I learned about him after I cut myself off, you know, I phoned up. He lost her house, business deal, bought for her by her parents. That's what they did in the religion. This is what I found the most fascinating, is that I never thought that Charlie was this amazing businessman or anything. I really just got a sense of BS from him from the very beginning, is my personal opinion. But seeing this really just sort of fortifies everything that we've been saying. Everything that M and Tiz started out with when it came to the king stuff, the fake king thing, which really doesn't make a difference to us in the United States. I mean, I'm going to be honest. We don't really give a fuck about what happens to you and your king, but I know it's important to you guys. And it really illustrates what goes on, you know, in your politics too. Like, wow, you know, like that. It was fascinating for me to see that whole storyline unfold. And what a lot of you don't know is Charlie was pulling that scam before this one. So this is pre, you know, this is, you know, he's got all his stuff going on. This is his son, right?
and this is just what happens. Oh, a bell end's a git. I thought a git was like an old drunk, stupid git, like you're an old stupid. Don't be stupid. You know that one? No, okay. But I also really, really like Glenn, and I'm looking at Glenn, and I'm going, man, this dude is. I mean, he looks like he's pretty fit, right? He looks like he could whoop some tail. My guy, he looks like he can handle his own business. So we'll just keep this guy.
He lost a lot of stuff, and he put her through hell.
Mara Bellend.
And obviously, as a baby of 3 or 4 years old, I would never have understood it and never known. But then I kind of now, as a 30-year-old, 30 plus, nearly 40 man, I kind of understand it, and I kind of like went.
Ended up spread it over onto like yourself and on your sister, because people were seeing all these people close to them, family and friends, getting duped out of money, giving false hope, and they actually thought that if they started to contact like people like yourselves, make comments on like your sister's employer, which was wrong, by the way.
Yeah, no, that's the only thing I care about. It's really like, I just don't want, she's grafted. She's just been nominated for Manager of the Year season. She's up against Man United, Man City, Liverpool. She's up against the big people, and she's only just started at the club. She's worked her way up to being one of the best managers in the UK, like from ground zero, from living on a council estate.
Yes,
and
the tip, so if you will.
For me, to protect her career was the most important thing. That's the only thing I care. I said to her, I said, I don't care if they come for me. But I understand you're going for the heartstrings. Now, that's a typical way of doing stuff. And you might get him to sort of realise.
To be honest with you, after we had that first conversation, which is a couple of weeks
and that's what we discuss a lot, is we talk about how they really just go for the heartstrings. It's all about, the children and the trafficking. It always goes back to that. And then after the series of BS that you would perhaps be engaged in while watching any of these particular broadcasts, or hypnotized by, or whatever you think the word is, then Jesus loves you, okay? Because that's the offset. That's what offsets. That's the Achilles heel in your mind.
And you said that if you look up the word narcissist in the dictionary, you would find that the definition would be your dad. Do you remember?
100%.
Thanks, Steve.
After like watching and speaking to you a few times, you actually can see all the signs there. And I don't think no matter what would be.
I'm just a fellow with a big mouth.
Pressure would be put on yourself by your sister. I don't think it would actually make you see. The thing about it is,
the typical narcissist thing. They'll use something against you to try to encourage you to.
They'll use something against you. I almost have a good impression of him, and that's a compliment. Okay, when I do an impersonation of somebody, it's because I like them. I'm even working on one for M. I almost have Tiz, and almost have Will. So those will be coming soon.
Come back to someone. It's a full-blown trait. Like, she came out, I think the age of 16. We kind of knew she was gay anyway. So she's now 38. So we're talking 22 years ago. And using that against her to gain her political view or whatever it is. I don't even know what the subject they're talking about. And my message back to that is like, fucking give me his fucking number. That come. I said to her when I leave, a narcissist is like a vampire. It needs blood. It needs blood to live. And that's what they do. They suck other people's energy around them so that they can feel good about themselves. And I said, when I left Zakala, he will need a new energy source. It could be you. It could be Justin. It could be Nuri. It could be anybody.
Yeah.
So just be aware. And then there's only when I was up at her house, she told me that basically she hasn't spoken to him for 9 weeks. I was like, wow. Okay, so we're probably talking.
Okay, I don't know. I got to stop here for a second because he just reminds me. To all of my British friends, obviously, you do know the television program, the show on the telly, Faulty Towers. Yes? Okay. Everybody who's British knows Faulty Towers. Now, as an American, you know, it's funny. The reason why I probably do the accents and all this stuff is because when I was little, I watched Faulty Towers. And there's one episode where one guy comes in. He's kind of like this, you know, swinging kind of like young guy. And he's got the sports parked out front, you know. And he comes in, and that's when he's the guy who starts to talk to Manuel. Does anybody remember that episode? He's like this cool cat that comes in like, all right, you know, Mr. Faulty, you know, like all that stuff. Yeah, you remember that episode. And he's like, he talks to Manuel in Spanish because he was like so cool. That's what Glenn reminds me of. Glenn reminds me of like a cool English dude who just kind of like slides in there, gets the bags. His bags are all done, take care of, you know. Cool dude. Yes, the guy in the sports jacket. He was like probably the hippest, coolest kind of like young guest that they had on that show was this guy. Very funny episode.
Now nearly 3 or 4 months, 4 months, maybe 5 months, that she's not spoken to him now. And it's sad, really, because he's cutting off his own family just to. He's only doing it to line his pockets. That's the only thing he's doing it for.
The thing is, I remember what he said is he's got himself like in a pyramid of people that are all kind of in the same kind of ideas and scams, and they all become like affiliates of each other's ideas.
No, Kathy, but I know who you're talking about.
Do you know
He's a
who
different
he's involved
guy.
with?
Well, it's getting involved with all. You know, like there's Mel K, there's David Rodriguez in America. You know, there's some like real kind of
know who they are.
Big names on the conspiracy kind of scene. Well, they call it the truth.
Here we go.
You know. But
yeah, he told me that. Well, you heard the message that I'm not woke, and now it's in fact more clearer than mine. And she will make her own decisions. And she's blaming me for that. And you heard him say, "I'm glad."
It is paella, not stinking eel pie. Manuel, there is too much butter on those trays. Okay? Yes, there is too much butter on those trays. Okay? Hay mucho burro ahí. Oh. Burro is E-O. I love that show.
Had you stepped out of my life? I was like, that's gold. Like,
yeah,
that is a perfect thing a father can say to a child. Yeah, I'm so glad you stepped out of my life. Like, wow. Just for him to have his own view and make people believe in. But he's always been like that, unfortunately. And honestly, I'm going to be honest with you. If you can change him, I'll give you a medal. I don't think anyone can. He actually is so engrossed in his own self and his own beliefs.
Narcissism.
Nobody. I don't think his wife knew he could change it. I don't think anyone can change it. He's just so engrossed in himself.
Yeah.
The other thing you can do is if you can prove that he's doing a scam and get him nicked.
Oh, for my American friends, nicked means arrested. Okay, get him nicked.
There's actually people who are actually reporting it. You know, there's certain different fraud agencies around for the internet and within the police. So it is being reported by quite a few people that are spotting it.
Okay, good.
They're actually being spotted. They are taking it seriously.
Try and get a lawyer, get a consortium together, so all get a top lawyer that can fight a case singly for everybody. Because if everyone goes in chip, it's just
Hey, that's a great effing idea, and I have just the lawyer who will do it, and I will introduce him to all of you, and you could pay him directly, and we could all chip in because lawyers are expensive. Let's get a lawyer. Let's all get a lawyer together, guys. If we all chip in, look, there's a lot of us. We only got to chip in, what, like 20 quid? $20? You know?
just knock them down one by one.
Because
And
I mean, it's like with the alternative currencies.
What
and
you
stuff
on
like
about?
that. He's selling things, and then people are sending money to him, and they're not seeing anything in return. It just disappears.
Sounds about right.
But then when he does a video, he tells people that money isn't even he's not interested in money.
He's so obsessed with money. He's like, he'll get money and he'll go and spend it in Nikki Beach or in these fucking high-end places, paying for everybody and everything, thinking he's a dog's bollocks. And then the next minute he's skin.
Yeah.
And then next minute he's like this. And it's just so up and down. Like, he's borrowed money off my sister, he's borrowed money off me in the past. He just goes up and down, up and down.
Yeah.
And yeah, he sometimes he just appears to make money from nowhere, really. And I personally I don't want anything to do with it, what he does anymore, and I don't really care too much for what he does. But obviously, I don't want him. I was going to go to town on him. I was going to write a book about him. I was going to make a YouTube channel and do all that. But
Really? Hey, Glenn, I will help you set that channel up. I will run the channel for you. I am now volunteering. I will help you with that YouTube channel. I'll pay for the StreamYard, bro. I'll pay for the whole thing. All you got to do is do what you're doing right now, and I got the rest. Okay? I volunteer right here. I'm a volunteer. I don't need anything. Okay? I will just help you do that because I just believe in it. So, hit me up, man. Okay? Do the right thing. Okay? Do the right thing and hit me up, Glenn. Okay? I like you.
Wasting my fucking time. I'll be honest. I just don't have the time and the energy to waste on such a waste of space.
There's quite a few people now. I mean, there's Truth Seeker. You've probably not heard of him.
The crowd goes
It is actually
wild.
worth watching. There's one called 30 Reasons Why I Don't Trust Charlie Ward.
Indeed.
And it give you 30 reasons, and it's all broke down. Starting with like how he claims to be he uses the doctor title. Yeah,
that is a load of bollocks.
Yeah.
He got that. Me and my sister exposed him. He got it from get someone to ask him to have a look at his certificate, and I googled his certificate. And the worst thing is, right?
Yeah.
He got that doctorate on my first birthday on the 9th of August. Yeah. I questioned him about it.
Wow.
He's like, I said, where did you get that? I said, do you remember the day you got that?
Wow.
I said, yeah, it was my first birthday, Dad.
Wow. A good memory.
Oh, no, because what it was I did it then. That's when I was doing the course. But then I went and read back and set these out some fucking thing. So they backdated it or something like that. I was like, yeah, okay, well, whatever. And then I Googled the university. It doesn't exist. It's an online fucking, it's a fake. It's a fake.
It's a fugazi.
But before, up until about 4 or 5 years ago, you used to be able to change your name via depot to doctor without any kind of evidence. Now you have to evidence it. You can change it to anything. Now you remember they used to be able to change it to Mickey Mouse if you wanted to on depot, but you can't anymore. I've actually changed my name. Probably saw it at the beginning of the video. I don't want anything to do with the name Ward anymore. I've done that purposely because I was sick to death of people coming.
Oh, whoa, wait. Oh, I wasn't watching this, Rabbit. Okay, Charlie Ward has put mass confusion into every state. Let's just say that, Anthony, it's not just the deep state. He has put confusion into every state. And yes, there are many daft and ignorant humans. I would agree with you. But I will tell you, Brent, listen, Ant, just calm down, okay? Calm down. Just relax. Right? Okay? You don't know everything. I don't know everything. So just relax, buddy. We're all in here together, okay? We're just going to watch and see what happens. All right? All right.
To me and asking me,
listen to Brandon,
somebody that I have nothing to do with.
Yeah.
I'm sick of people coming up to me and asking me stuff. But I'll talk to you guys because
he's never been a millionaire.
Here, and it could, you could do the job that I wanted to do.
Yeah. So
I'm insisting.
Yeah. So he's never been a millionaire like he claims to have been.
No,
No.
never been a millionaire. If he's had a million, he gets it and spends it. He's never.
And this is what I was saying.
You know, I tell you what,
I
he's
was
never owned a property. Yeah.
Now I got to say this. Me and the Grip Busters, me and the boys have discussed this, and I just had a feeling that he just doesn't have everything because his output must be so massive, even though his input is big. But he does, I got the sense that he was this type of guy. We had talked about it before, and I was right. Excuse me.
He's never owned property. Why?
Sorry, I had something in my throat.
That he lost, which was my mother's. Okay, bought by my mother's parents when they got married. Okay, so he never owned that house. He didn't pay for that house. The other house that he had in Culpit Heath in Bristol was actually put into my name because he couldn't get credit.
Okay.
And then he fucked that up and fucked my credit up.
Wow.
He also, on his 40th birthday, was it 40th or 50th birthday? I think it's 50th birthday. Tried organising this massive grand event at the Sanderson Hotel. Got Carla to organise it all because Carla's very organised like that, and she done everything. Paid us about a 10 grand deposit.
Okay, first of all, Q. It's not verbal abuse. Okay, settle down. All right, for somebody who talks and somebody who is such a patriot and a warrior, don't be such a cupcake when someone speaks to you. Okay, please. I've asked you once, okay, to calm down. Okay? So, if you say that again, if you pop off again, I'm just saying, you don't have to be here. I'm sure you have something better to do, surely, than be here and take abuse, since it's such abuse. Someone talked about you being on your bicycle, and that's abuse? I mean, all right, if that's what you think. Sorry. What kind of moisturizer do you use on your precious skin? Because I'd like to know,
And it's going to cost about 50 grand. And he couldn't afford it in the end. His deals didn't come off. That was their fault, obviously, not his.
I like the cute people being in here.
CCJ
Dragon.
Because of that as well.
He's on the edge, but
so,
he can stay for a little longer.
He just
it's the typical
night, fucking everybody else up. And sorry if you're recording this and sending it. My language is awful, but
because what the people who need to realize who have followed Charlie is this is his son. So if you're talking about being fucking daft, okay, you not listening to his son is daft. You're talking, but you're not listening, okay, because you're too busy talking and saying and spewing your QBS that nobody wants to hear in here, okay? So you're a guest. No, it's okay, Dragon. I want people to stay in here. But if you're going to be a little cupcake and say that abuse when someone is talking to you, then this is not the place for you. You are in a zone that you probably shouldn't be in, right? Because if you're not listening to his son, then we ain't the daft ones, my guy. You're not the one who's taking in the information. You've already blocked off the information. And that's what the problem is with you people. What do you mean, you people? You know what I mean? So, yeah, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go block it from the channel. Fuck off. I hate that shit. Anyway. He's done. When we throw out somebody, can we have a little applause, please? Can I have some clappy hands? Jeez. Let's go.
All right. He just fucks everyone's life up. I was out in Dubai with him, and he sent me back with his phone because he didn't have a charger, apparently. I only to find out that it was the guy that he had to get some money for was like a bit of a, I don't know how to gang lord or fucking mafia. I don't know what you want to call these people, but he was a bit of a scary twat. Okay. And he said, I'll go meet him. So I went and met him thinking it was just like, I'll just tell him, my dad's going to be back in 2 weeks. No, this guy said, you need to get this fucking money by tomorrow. And he's got pictures of me, my wife at the time, and my baby son, who was one, or not even one. So I had to, he said, I basically, we're coming for you. And I
What?
phoned him up, and he just couldn't give a fuck. He literally could not give two shits. And then, so I went and stayed in a hotel with my missus and my son, just to protect everyone.
Wait a second. So is he saying that Charlie got him into a situation that put his family in some kind of danger because he screwed up some kind of deal? Is that what he just said? Because that's kind of what I'm hearing. I mean, a dodgy, low-level Russian officer.
And he didn't care, not a care in the
Right.
world. And then he came back to Spain for 4 or 5 days, to Spain for 4 or 5 days, and did not go and meet them and deal with the problem. He didn't have the balls or the manhood to go and do that and protect his son.
Wow.
He went, then got neuroadjusted and flew to England to go to a mate's wedding. That's how much he gives a shit about other people. And
Wow.
I'm his flesh and blood, well, supposedly his flesh and blood. So, you know, these are the kind of acts that, you know, I've endured mostly.
Let me just make something clear. You don't do that to your family. That's all.
Because and I think my brother did. Unfortunately, my brother's not here anymore, but he you know, he works with my brother. We used to know when my dad was skimming money here, there, and everywhere. We used to know there's something going on. But what do we do? He's your dad, isn't he? You know, you kind of like, he's your dad. He's like, and the amount of times I tried cutting him out of my life before I cut him out in the end was, you know, my sister and my mum were like, oh, he's his dad at the end of the day. Da, da, da. So you go back. And then the same cycle happens again. He will apologize and stuff, but then a month or two down the line, he'll go, when you said this, you're like, yeah. Well, I just want to clarify and blah, 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 blah. And he'll turn it back to that and turn it back round. So that conversation now with him apologizing is now irrelevant. And now it's my fault again. I'm like,
Yeah.
And I said to Carla, would you never get back? I said, no, Carla, I don't need somebody like him in my life. So I know exactly what will happen. He will turn it around again. And then I'm
going to tell you a little secret about myself. Okay. All I could say is that I can relate a lot to what Glenn is saying regarding your father. My father didn't always play it the best way, but it taught me a lot about morality. And it's kind of like, I feel like being the son of a narcissist is kind of like being an alcoholic. You either become one or you become the opposite and fight them. And I totally can relate to Glenn.
Nice life. I'm quite happy with my life right now.
So there, a little personal something, whatever that means.
To have that again. I've dealt with it. I've moved on. I've done all the research I need to do for my life and understanding CPTSD, understanding narcissism, understanding how it affects people, and everything like that. And I'm moving forward now.
So what about he says he's
okay, TS9. Come on now. Okay, let's have a little respect for what Glenn is doing. Okay, and please delete that comment if you don't mind. I just feel like that's a little bit over what we want to do here. Okay, so please, I'm asking you. I would appreciate it.
time in
What's up,
prison?
Two Feathers?
Is that true?
Yeah, he did a time in prison. Do you know why?
Why? Go on.
Because it was non-payment of fucking maintenance.
Thank you.
He did not pay maintenance to my
I'd like to try and someday maybe get an interview with this guy, and comments like that will not help me. So please be respectful of the guest.
mother. And then when he lived in Spain, when he moved out in whatever year he moved out, when we were young, he then used to declare he earned no money because obviously he was off the books or doing something that was not, going,
Naughty. He'd be doing something naughty.
He then declared he had no money, so he paid 1 pence per child per week. So he'd send a check of like 12 to 15p per month to my mum, which was, for my mum to cash in the post office would have cost 20 quid or something. I can't remember what it was back then. We're talking about the 80s, 90s kind of time. So that's what he did, and he never ever contributed towards us as children. He never ever saw us as children. Although he pretends to Justin and the rest of the world that he should be having an award as a Father of the Year award. The way he goes on about it, like, and his daughter Carla, how successful she is, and blah 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 blah. You know, you had nothing to fucking do with it. You had nothing. My mum went and stood by the pitch for Carla in the rain, watching these crappy little matches that she played.
Wow.
You only turned up when
See, that's what moms do.
Final. You only turned up when there's something big enough for you to turn up at.
Man, you know, aren't moms cool? That's all I gotta say. Moms are really cool.
Like, so it would never.
When he could get some attention himself.
Yeah, he wants to turn up to the big events, you know. He's like, yeah, I did this. It's my daughter. Yeah.
Smash that like button on YouTube, guys. Make sure you're hitting that like.
Because when you watch his videos, he talks about going to prison, saying it's like, I think it's counterfeiting money and credit cards and things like this. And then he'll talk about going back to the same prison as a salesman and becoming like where he became the head of security for
all the security systems and stuff. Yeah, this is the prison story that is in 30 Reasons.
Truth to that. From what I know,
you know, here's basically what's going on, and this is what a lot of people don't realize: M's influence in this particular topic. Darren is asking, and Darren is doing great. I think he's great, but a lot of the information is coming from M's stuff, which shows what, you know, and a lot of, you know, see, I'm doing the same thing, but M has really been someone who is a pioneer in calling out the truthers for sure. You know, I'm not a truther. I don't want to be called a truther. Please don't call me that. You know, and please don't call me pal or buddy or ace or slick or dog or any of that stuff. But 30 Reasons really, yeah, exactly, Kat. 30 Reasons really opened up a lot of people's eyes. It really helped a lot of people. And I don't think people give him enough credit for how many people he's helped. If you see some of the views on his videos and how many people have seen this and probably talked about it, and how many people M has helped stop making, you know, mate's fine. There's always one. Boss man doesn't hurt. Sir works. Lord's a little much, but I've heard it before. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Thank you so much, guys. I love the sense of humor that you guys have. You know what I mean? That you guys have. You know, it keeps me going amongst all this ridiculous darkness, and I appreciate it.
From his voice, I don't, and I think I do know, because I know the owner of the company, Sensematic, that he worked for. He basically he got a job in sales at Sensematic Security. And he then got the contract for a prison or something. I don't know how far along this is true, because this is more his words than actually knowing. But I do know he did get a contract for the prison. And then he got the contract for, I think it went spread out to the whole of the UK.
Yeah.
And I think he says that he designed the prison security system, which in 2 seconds he could design a fucking a PDF or a Word fucking press website. So I find that unsure. But then he did do very successful out of that. But he was a head of security? No, not in a million years. He worked as a salesman at Sensematic and got a fucking good deal. That's what he did. That's the bottom line of it.
So most of his work has actually all been in sales, selling the product to himself as he is at this moment in time.
Okay, so he wasn't technically the head of security, which was pretty much it. He just basically sold them their cameras. He just brokered the deal for the cameras, for the camera systems, with the help of maybe maybe allegedly, or perhaps. I'm not saying this is what happened, but maybe Charlie, you know, hooked him up with something, this or that or the other thing, you know, if you know what I mean, of a TV show that was the top of the, something that rhymes with tops. That show Top of the Chops.
Yeah, he's He can talk.
Yeah, that's why I relate with him, Kathy.
He can certainly talk the talk. And I think what I've thought, because I don't know what's in these videos. I know they're all conspiracy theory. It's all like this and this and this and this. The jab. I remember saying about the jab and stuff like that. I think he's just prying on these vulnerable people that are in lockdown right now, that don't know what is happening. They don't know what's the truth. They're looking for an answer. They're not getting it from Boris Johnson because he's baffling on like an idiot, although he's doing probably the best job that any of them could have done. And he's just, these people just want something that's solid, and he can talk with absolute confidence, a lot more than Boris can. So he will be believable for sure. I can guarantee he's believable, and they will believe it. But apparently none of the stuff that he says comes true. And
his younger days and the cult. I think a lot of the way he's behaving, the way.
Now there we had the son talking about what Charlie talks about. This is the son, okay? Look. This guy Glenn is like just telling it like it is. I do not detect any deception, no intoxication. He is just bringing it out. And this is going to be about the some of the cult stuff that is discussed. And we're going to probably get down to the bottom of something we haven't heard before here as well.
Get these people to like sign up to his ideas. It's probably what he learned back then, what he was seeing.
Probably, yeah, it's brainwashing.
Yeah, and then when you add that to the salesman skill, what he has, to being able to be charming and sell some sort of idea or product, maybe that's what drags people.
Don't think he was a chairman, but yeah. He's probably the top salesman of the month or year, but
he didn't say he was a chairman. He said he had a chair, man.
Definitely not a chairman. You don't make people chairman because they sold a lot of cameras. No, I wouldn't. You need a lot more to become a chairman than the ability to sell a lot of cameras.
So since he went to like Spain, he's only ever done like sales jobs. He's not been.
He worked in timeshare for the first 20 odd years of it, selling basically ship packages that people were very unhappy with. The timeshare days came away many years ago.
I don't see any signs of intoxication.
Hard for everyone to do it, and I think they clamped down on it.
And I've probably done more drugs than everyone in the chat right now combined, just in my past. Just to tell you the truth, he does not look to me. He looks sober. He looks a little agitated, which I understand, and so he's showing just like normal signs of normal human stress under the circumstances, discussing an uncomfortable topic. So, you know, I see nothing that shows any signs of intoxication or impairment whatsoever. It's just not there. His eyes are clear. He's not bebopping all around. He's staying still, focused, and he's pretty relaxed. So
stuff, and the kind of stuff that they were offering and saying that was available with this timeshare package was never quite true. And he's very good at using words, manipulating words to make it sound like it's included, but not directly saying it's included, kind of thing. And he'll do that a lot.
Okay. Whoever's saying that he has a slight slur, he's fucking British, man. He's like from his that's how he talks. It's like, you know, he's like a sober Keith Richards. You know what I mean? It sounds like he's like from the same part of town. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but he kind of sounds like he's from the same area Keith Richards is from. Keith Richards is just very intoxicated. I don't think he's slurring his words. I mean, I think that's just the way he talks. And I think it's, I personally think it's fabulous. So let's keep listening.
And then when you confront somebody, no, I didn't say that, I said this. And he'll try and have a double meaning with it. And you're like, I see where you fucking went there, Dad. Well done. Great. You convinced somebody, you abused my trust in believing my own father.
Wow.
It's like, wow. Yeah, nice. Yeah. And yeah, so I suppose I was quite naive to it all. You don't expect it, really. I would never expect, you wouldn't expect it from your father. I wouldn't expect most people, 90% of people in this country, in this world, would expect their father to lie to them and deceive them in a way like that. But he did all the time. And then he'll use something against you. Like, yeah. He's good at that.
Yeah, well, I heard that one of the messages that what you sent to me, the way he was actually speaking to you about making the same mistakes and this and.
Oh, my mistakes. Yeah, but he doesn't know that I've got a perfect relationship with my ex-wife and my son, my youngest son, and I've got not the perfect relationship with my eldest son's mum, but she'll invite me around for dinner if I'm there. I'll just
you know what? That's good enough. That's what I say.
You know, we have a relationship.
That is actually a spectacular relationship with an ex that you have a child with, because me personally, I don't disagree. It's best to have best relationships.
She always asks for more money, but then they all. So we have a bit of a bicker about that. And I have a perfect relationship with my son. I speak to my son on a daily basis. I'm with my son. So if he thinks my relationship, because I live in different country to one of them and a different part of the UK to another, is exactly the same as his, where he lives in a different country and never paid a penny and never tried to talk. Okay, it's a lot easier nowadays with mobile phones to talk to children. But if he thinks mine compared to his is the same, then he's mental. But he's just trying to use that against me again. He's trying to belittle me to try to make me feel good.
But I picked up on that when I was listening to it. I could see what he was trying to do.
Yeah, it just blows over my head now. I just can't be. I know what he's trying to do. It's like having an ex-wife who's just trying to belittle you and trying to like make you feel bad about your actions all the time, so they feel good about theirs. It's like, yeah, a bitter person. He's a bitter person.
Wow.
Wow.
To hear he's
got a right to be bitter. Because,
child say that about you,
man. He's fucked a lot of shit up, and
wow,
he's probably pissed off within himself.
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee underneath all of this exterior, he's probably, he's a broken person. I think. I'd like to see if the HMRC or any other thing in Spain has any records of his earnings. Maybe that's something you should have a look at.
It's probably a good idea.
No, honestly, it's a very good idea.
And Darren, by the way, a fantastic job with this interview, with the editing. The sound is pretty decent, you know what I mean? And everything's like together, and you see the picture, and everybody's. It just is a really, really great presentation.
Before about then, when you ask that, has he had? That will tell you if he's had anything. Now, all this money he's got and all this high life that he promotes on his social media and everything else, have a look, see whether it's see if it's there, because if it is, then he might have something to back himself up on. But I can guarantee you one thing: he has not paid a fucking dime in tax.
And that is going to be part 1. I'm going to break this up into a couple parts because I do not want it to be too long at a time. So I really appreciate you guys joining me here today. As always, Glenn, what a great thing that he is doing. We are going to continue on with this the next time we get together. And we're going to have this in a few parts. So I really do appreciate you guys joining me today from all over the world. I thank you so much for being so supportive. It's been a rough couple weeks. I've been under a little bit of a attack from some craziness, and we just we deal with it and we handle it. We get back on the old steel horse. So make sure you like this video right now. Go click the like button. Go click that notification bell. Copy this. Share it with other people. Feel free to share that anywhere and get people to follow this page. That's the best way to support this page. If you want to go above and beyond that step, you will see scrolling in the banner below my bid and my globe, you will see to subscribe like and share first and foremost. Taking it to another level would mean the Veritas Machine at Cash App, PayPal, and on Patreon. So if you want to leave us a tip, we always appreciate it. We put it towards improvements of the program. So I appreciate you joining. We're going to see you next time. I'm going to do part 2 very soon, so make sure you turn on those notifications because this is great to do it from a different spin with everybody making comments, doing it live. I like to do it that way, and it's great to go see M and follow him as well, and Just Tiz and Cold Beer Confessional. Make sure you watch us the next time on Griftbusters. I want to thank everybody for coming out, and until next time, I mean, you know how we do this, right? Well said.
The truth set you free.
Thank you very much, everybody, joining me from the Pineapple to the Big Apple, from Maine to Spain. Yeah, that is my name, Two Feathers. That's right. Don't give your money to any of these people.
In an age of universal deceit, telling the truth.
They cannot be selling you lies. That is not cool. Allegedly. In a video game. But that's what we do. We grift busted. And whatever dusted, that dragon said. Thank you, Lorraine, Kathy, Dragon, Cats, Rabbit, Chess, everybody who came to join me. We're going to see you next time. And you know it's going to be soon. Veritas.